Two people, same age, 27. Same exact city, same average rent, same stressful middle-class job making around $60,000 a year. Let's call them Sarah and Mark. Both of them are sitting on their couches, scrolling through their phones under the exact same glaring blue light, watching the global economy completely shut down. The year is 2020. The market has just plummeted 30% in a matter of weeks. The news cycle is an endless loop of red tickers, panicked experts, and the word unprecedented slapped across every single headline. Both of them have about $10,000 sitting in a basic brokerage account. It is money they scraped together by skipping vacations, saying no to dinners out, and eating meal preps for 3 straight years. Sarah looks at those red numbers bleeding across her screen. She feels a physical, undeniable pit in her stomach. Her nervous system takes over completely. She logs into her account and she hits sell. She moves every single dollar to cash, telling herself that she is just going to wait for the dust to settle. She will get back in when things feel safe again. Mark feels the exact same gut-wrenching panic, but instead of touching his portfolio, he forcibly closes the app. He grits his teeth, he leaves his automatic $200 monthly transfer switched on, and he goes to sleep. Fast forward exactly 5 years. Sarah, who waited for the headlines to tell her it was finally safe to invest again, missed the steepest, most violent market recovery in modern history. She bought back in 18 months later when everything felt fine and prices were already hitting all-time highs. Today, including her contributions, her portfolio sits at roughly $17,000. She barely beat the rate of inflation. Mark, he never touched a single thing. His portfolio is now hovering just over $48,000. Over $30,000 in absolute difference, from doing exactly nothing. The gap between Sarah and Mark was not intelligence. It was not financial privilege. It was not inside information, or a better stock-picking strategy, or a better background in economics. The only difference between them was what they decided to do during a 4-week window when the entire world felt like it was ending. Right now, as you sit here and watch this, we are entering one of those exact windows again. The headlines are screaming catastrophe. The data says something else entirely. Math, not opinion. Every single time the market bleeds, the financial media paints it as a generational apocalypse. They do this because terror keeps you watching, and your attention is what sells their advertising slots. But unlike what the talking heads are telling you on the evening news, this isn't the end of the financial world. It is not even unprecedented. It is a completely routine, predictable wealth transfer event. My name is Ali, and I spend my days analyzing the hard, unforgiving mathematics of the stock market so that you do not have to. And today I'm going to show you exactly why the panic you are feeling right now is biologically engineered to keep you poor. More importantly, I am going to give you the exact, step-by-step mathematical framework to exploit this fear instead of falling victim to it. Before we look at the historical data, we need to talk about the fear. Because if we don't fundamentally acknowledge what you are feeling right now, none of the math is going to matter. I know exactly what checking your portfolio feels like during a week like this. It feels like a gut punch. You go to work, you put in your 40 hours, you sacrifice, you try to do everything right. But then you go to the grocery store, and suddenly a basic basket of food costs 30% more than it did 3 years ago. You pull up to the gas pump, and you are dropping $80 just to get enough fuel to drive to your job. Your rent goes up, your car insurance goes up. Everything is squeezing you at the exact same time, and your paycheck has barely moved an inch. And then, to make it infinitely worse, you turn on the news. You see geopolitical conflict flaring up across the globe. You see massive tech layoffs happening in real time. You see the VIX, which is Wall Street's primary fear gauge, spiking violently into the red. You see your favorite companies, the supposedly invincible tech monopolies, shedding 10, 15, or 20% of their value in a matter of weeks. Your brain automatically connects the dots. Higher prices at the store plus red numbers on the screen equals danger. You are simultaneously panicking and completely unsure of exactly what you are panicking about. It is a vague, overwhelming sense of financial dread. If you are feeling the urge to pull your money out of the market right now and hide it under a metaphorical mattress, you need to understand something incredibly important. You are not stupid, you are human. Your brain was literally designed by millions of years of evolution to avoid danger. When a saber-toothed tiger jumped out of a bush 10,000 years ago, the humans who froze in place or stayed back to analyze the data got eaten. The humans who immediately ran away survived and passed on their genetics. Your nervous system is reacting to a dropping S&P 500, exactly the same way it reacts to a physical predator in the wild. It is screaming at you to get out, protect what you have, and sell. But the stock market is not a jungle, and those deeply ingrained survival instincts, they are the exact mechanism that Wall Street algorithms use to transfer wealth from your pocket into theirs. Let us strip the emotion completely away and look at the cold, unforgiving data. Because the historical ledger does not care about your gut feelings. We have all heard the cliché that time in the market beats timing the market. It sounds great on a coffee mug or a motivational poster, but it is not just a catchy phrase. It is a biological constraint. Let me prove it to you mathematically. The research firm Dalbar has spent the last 30 years tracking a fascinating and deeply depressing metric. They track the gap between what the broader stock market actually returns and what the average retail equity investor actually captures. Over a 3-decade period, the S&P 500 returned a cool, annualized average of roughly 10.35%. If you just held on blindly, your money compounded at more than 10% a year for 30 years. Do you know what the average retail equity investor made during that exact same 30-year period? 3.66%. That is a nearly 7-point gap every single year, compounded over 30 years. That is the literal mathematical difference between retiring on a beach with a multi-million-dollar portfolio and working as a greeter at a big box retail store when you are 72 years old trying to make rent. Why does this horrifying gap exist? Do retail investors just pick entirely wrong stocks? Some do, sure, but the gap exists almost exclusively because people try to outsmart the market by timing their exits and their entries. They sell when the news is terrifying, and they buy back in when the news is cheerful and everything feels safe again. And here is the most lethal part of that strategy. JP Morgan released a massive study looking at a 20-year investing window. If you had just left $10,000 fully invested for those 20 years, never looking at it, never touching it, it would have grown to roughly $64,000. But if you tried to get clever, if you sold because you were scared of a headline, and you ended up missing just the 10 best days out of those 20 years, your portfolio dropped from $64,000 down to $29,000. You lost more than half of your total wealth accumulation by missing 10 days out of over 5,000 trading days. Here is the kicker. Here is the data point that should permanently rewire how you view market panics. 76% of the market's absolute best trading days happen during bear markets, or within the very first 2 months of a new bull market. Read that again, internalize it. The days that build the vast majority of your wealth happen during the exact moments of maximum societal fear. They happen when every single news anchor is screaming that the financial sky is finally falling. If you are sitting in cash because you are waiting for things to settle down, you are going to miss the recovery. You cannot go back and buy those explosive upward days later. Once they are gone forever. If we look at wartime data, the math becomes even clearer. RBC Wealth Management analyzed 20 major military conflicts since 1950. Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, Iraq, Ukraine. Across all of them, the average S&P 500 decline was just 6%. The market bottomed in an average of 13 trading days, and it fully recovered in an average of 28 trading days. Less than 6 weeks start to finish. While average retail investors were waiting for certainty, watching the news, feeling sick about their portfolios, the recovery had already happened without them. Now, I know exactly what the smartest, most analytical people watching this video are currently typing in the comments section. You are saying, hold on a minute, this isn't a black swan event like 2008 or lockdowns. We are in an 18-and-a-half-year macro topping sequence. The liquidity from the Treasury is drying up. Commercial real estate is a ticking time bomb. This is just a routine 5 or 10% pullback that happens 3 times a year. If that is what you are thinking, I want to look you dead in the eye and say that you are absolutely 100% right. This is not a once-in-a-century apocalypse. It is a completely standard Tuesday in the global economy. And that is exactly why it is so overwhelmingly profitable. Finance media loves to use the phrase generational wealth opportunity every single time a major tech stock drops $1. They do it because it gets clicks, but it completely distorts reality. Real wealth is rarely built by stepping into the bloody streets and catching a falling knife during a depression. Real, indestructible, sustainable wealth is built by recognizing that a 10% market correction is a totally normal, expected structural function of the economy. It is literally just stocks going on a 10% clearance sale. When you go to the grocery store and you see that your favorite brand of coffee is 20% off, you do not panic and run out of the store screaming that the coffee market is collapsing. You buy 2 bags instead of 1. The stock market is the only market on planet Earth where the customers immediately sprint for the emergency, exits the second that the absolute best merchandise goes on sale. So let us stop with the hyperbole. We are not staring down the end of capitalism. We are looking at a routine, fee-induced pricing discount, and instead of freezing like a deer in headlights, we are going to act. This is the exact part where most finance videos completely fail you. They give you all this wonderful macroeconomic theory, they show you 30 charts, and then they end the video by vaguely saying, just invest in good companies, and they leave you completely stranded to figure it out yourself. We do not do vague here. I'm going to give you a specific, mechanical framework based on whatever your current income level happens to be. And since the lawyers would hunt me for sport if I did not say this clearly, this is not personalized financial advice. It is historical mathematical probability. Always do your own due diligence. Let us start with the hardest, most brutal reality. What if you literally have $0? What if you are living paycheck to paycheck, and the idea of investing $500 a month makes you want to throw your phone across the room, because that money has to go to your rent and your light bill? I hear you completely. The traditional advice of simply buying the dip is aggressively useless to you right now. But you still have to play the game, or you will be trapped in the cycle of poverty forever. If you are at absolute zero, you must implement the microscrape protocol. Your goal right now is not to catch the ultimate bottom of the stock market. Your goal is to fundamentally rewrite the neural pathways in your brain that have spent decades telling you investing is only for rich people in tailored suits. You need to scrape together exactly $20 a week. Cancel the streaming service that you only use for background noise while you look at your phone. Make coffee at home for just 4 days out of the week instead of buying it. Find $20. I do not care where it comes from. Open a fractional share brokerage account. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Robinhood, Vanguard. It hardly matters which one you choose just as long as they offer fractional shares. Set a completely automatic, unchangeable transfer for $20 every single Friday and direct it straight into VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. VTI owns a tiny, fractional piece of practically every single publicly traded company in America. When you buy VTI, you are making a mathematical bet that the United States economy will continue to figure its problems out eventually. Historically, this is the safest, most lucrative bet in the history of human civilization. $20 a week. You will certainly not get rich this year, but you will immediately crystallize the identity of an investor. You will begin capturing the discounted prices right now, so that when your income eventually scales up in the future, the habit is already deeply hardwired into your psychology. But what if you have some cash flow? Maybe you have a couple of $100 a month left over. But you are absolutely terrified to deploy it because the market keeps bleeding every single week. You are afraid that the day after you buy, everything is going to drop another 5%. If that is you, you deploy the robotic dollar cost averaging machine. You take your emotions completely, entirely out of the equation. Human beings are objectively terrible at making financial decisions when they are stressed, so we simply automate the decisions away from our flawed human brains. You set up an automatic buy order for the exact day after your paycheck hits your checking account. Do not look at the price. Do not check social media. Do not read the Wall Street Journal. If you want pure historical safety and broad exposure to the global economy, split your money between two massive index funds, VOO and SCHG. VOO is the Vanguard Standard and Poor's 500 ETF. It tracks the 500 largest, most dominant, most profitable United States companies. It is the absolute bedrock of global wealth. It has survived 2 extreme world wars, global pandemics, massive inflation crises, and every political disaster you can imagine. SCHG is the Schwab US Large Cap Growth ETF. It skews very heavily toward the massive, dominant tech monopolies we all know: Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Google. These are companies with completely impenetrable market moats and literally enough cash heavily reserved on their balance sheets to buy small countries outright. If you put 70% of your monthly contributions into VOO and 30% into SCHG, you are comfortably capturing the overall baseline safety of the market while tilting slightly toward the aggressive technological dominance that drives modern innovation. And if the market inexplicably drops another 10% next month, your Robotic, automated buy order just automatically acquired 10% more shares for the exact same amount of money. You are quite literally accelerating your wealth accumulation simply because other people on the internet panicked and sold you their shares at a discount. But let us look at the third and final scenario. What if you have $10,000, $50,000, or $100,000 sitting entirely in cash or sitting dormant in an old IRA from a previous job? The fear of losing that lump sum is paralyzing you. You feel like if you invest it all today, the market will inevitably crash tomorrow and your life savings will vanish. Let us look closely at the math behind this fear. The Vanguard Group ran a massive, multi-decade analytical study comparing lump sum investing, which means putting all your cash into the market on day one, versus dollar cost averaging, which means spreading that cash out evenly over a 12-month period to play it safe. In almost 70% of historical scenarios they studied, throwing the entire lump sum in on day one mathematically outperformed slowly dripping it in over a year. Why is that the case? Because broad markets go up structurally far more often than they go down. By sitting in pure cash just to play it safe and mitigate your anxiety, you end up missing the explosive upward momentum that constantly pushes the broader market to new all-time highs. However, if lump sum investing makes you physically ill from the stress, break your cash into 4 equal scheduled chunks. Deploy 25% today. Deploy another 25% exactly 30 days from now. Deploy the next 25% in 60 days, and the final chunk in 90 days. This specifically minimizes your psychological regret. If the market goes up, you are happy because you finally have skin in the game and you are making money. If the market goes down, you are just as happy because your next incoming chunk gets to buy in at an even cheaper, heavily discounted price. Action cures the fear. Stagnation breeds absolute failure. Let me bring this entire concept all the way back to the beginning. Let us go back to Sarah and Mark, both sitting alone on their couches, completely bathed in the glow of blue light from their cell phones. You possess a distinct, undeniable biological disadvantage when it comes to investing your money. The cognitive psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky actually won a Nobel Memorial Prize for discovering and proving a concept called loss aversion. They scientifically proved through decades of endless rigorous research that the psychological pain of losing $100 is roughly twice as mathematically intense in your brain as the joy of making $100. We feel financial losses at double the absolute volume as gains. This isn't a character flaw. It is the inescapable factory setting of the human mind. The people who quietly build unbreakable generational wealth are not somehow completely immune to this fear. When Mark saw his entire portfolio drop by 30% in March of 2020, his heart rate spiked just exactly like Sarah's did. His palms sweat. He felt the exact same overwhelming urge to liquidate his portfolio and escape to the safety of cash. The gap between middle-class comfort and absolute, untouchable financial freedom is not raw intellect. It is not guessing the exact day the market hits the rock bottom, because nobody can actually do that. The gap is simply the ability to look deeply at your bleeding portfolio, feel the fear surging through your nervous system, accurately recognize that fear as a primitive evolutionary echo, and explicitly, consciously choose to defy it. We are officially standing in one of those narrow windows right now. The discounts are hovering right in front of your face. Most people watching this will slowly nod their heads in agreement, close the web tab, check their rapidly declining portfolio, feel completely sick, and do absolutely nothing. They will pause their automatic contributions. They will sit in cash and wait for certainty. And when absolute certainty finally arrives with sunny headlines, the prices of the greatest companies on earth will already be 30% higher. You will pay a massive, permanent premium just for the feeling of safety. But you absolutely do not have to be most people. The math is right here. The framework is completely laid out. The only thing left in the equation is your personal discipline. The window of fear is currently wide open. What you do with it next entirely dictates what the next 10 years of your financial life looks like. If this deeply data-driven reality shifted your perspective today, or armed you against the rampant panic in the news media, hit the subscribe button.